guys, welcome to the Stafford Excellence EdTalks, where we celebrate the excellence and brilliance of our Stafford County Public School educators. Today we are in for a treat, guys, because we have LaKetra Spivey, a counselor at Park Ridge Elementary School. LaKetra, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Dan. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to have you. You know, guys, I have to tell you one other thing about LaKetra. She is one of our amazing 48 Mentor 360 ambassadors throughout the county. So I just had to highlight that other piece because, LaKetra, our ambassadors are incredible. You guys welcome and make sure our new teachers are ready to go all throughout their first year. It's incredible the work that you guys do.
Thank you.
So, I am so pumped for this. So, just as a quick review, LaKetra and everybody at home, we're going to go through 3 sections. We're going to have you share your story, and then some of your excellence, and then finally your thoughts.
Okay.
So, LaKetra, are you ready for your Stafford?
I am super ready.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it is time for your Stafford Excellence Ed Talk. Here we go. So, LaKetra, starting out with your story, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you end up at Park Ridge? All those great details.
Absolutely. So initially, I think it was about 7 years ago, Dan, I was kind of in a topsy-turvy. I am originally from North Carolina.
Okay.
And it was the luck of the draw. I was like, I was ready to move. I wanted to do something new. And I knew I always wanted to work with children. And so in searching, I just did education in Virginia. And I worked at a private day school, and I did that for about 4 years.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, I kind of want to I want to reach more kiddos. I really want to share my passion with a lot of students and a lot of families. So I challenged myself. I went back to school for a school counselor.
Right.
And I did my internship with Conway Elementary, and the rest is history. Here I am.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Well, first of all, we're so glad that you made that decision, made it to Stafford County Public Schools. My biggest question, you're the first counselor we've had on the podcast, and your role is so important in our schools right now, especially as we're navigating through a pandemic. Some of our kids have had so much going on. So did you have a teacher or a counselor or some adult figure in your life who kind of had that positive impact, who inspired you to work with kids? Did you have anyone like that?
I did, actually. And when I think about it, my mom is of course, she's kind of like top of that list.
Okay.
But when I was in high school, I had 2 high school counselors that were amazing for me. It was a huge outlet for me. And believe it or not, Dan, before I started with Stafford County, I had interviewed at another school, and I didn't know it until after the fact that it was one of my high school counselors. She had got married, her name changed,
Wow.
and we reconnected then, and it was just like, wow. But they really inspired me. I saw the passion that they had for working with kids and setting them on the right path. And I knew that that's something I wanted to do. It took me a long time to get here, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. That's such a cool story too, that ended up being that counselor. And you guys have well over 1,000 kids at Park Ridge, correct?
Yes.
So how many?
Over 1,000.
And how many counselors do you guys currently have? You have 2?
We actually, this year, Dan, we got 3.
Okay.
We brought in a brand new counselor. Her name is Erin Burridge, and we're so grateful that we have her just to be able to meet the needs of the students here.
Awesome. So everyone listening, everyone watching at home, as I said earlier, I met LaKetra as I first started this role with the Mentor 360 ambassadors. And LaKetra, I could tell from the minute that I met you that you bring such a light to all of those students at Park Ridge and to the adults you work with the new teachers, etc. So that's why you are an example of Stafford County excellence. So can you tell me of a best practice or something that you do as a counselor that you'd like to share out with the Stafford community?
So one thing that I like to do with Park Ridge, and I like to do this every year and throughout the year, I have this thing where I do a star student of the day. So that means that I do grade levels kindergarten through 5th.
Okay.
And each day I try my best to grab a different student that I have in my classrooms, and I just bring them into my office and we just chit chat. We just talk about life, we talk about school. I just want to get to know them without them reaching out to me, and to just remind them that I am advocate for them and their families, and just see how they're doing outside in their normal life. So I like to have a star student of the day.
Okay, that is, LaKetra, that is awesome because, when I was in school, the principal and the guidance counselor typically meant you were getting in trouble or had something going on. So I
Yes.
love that you're kind of flipping that on its head and just taking a kid every day and just having a conversation with them about life and what they love
Yes.
and their interests.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Talk about an amazing way to make connections with kids. Wow, that's so cool. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Okay, it's obviously clear, ladies and gentlemen at home, why LaKetra is Stafford County Excellence. Here we are. And, I'm also thinking, LaKetra, I came out of the fifth grade classroom, and that's something that you could do even if you're not a counselor.
Absolutely.
Maybe spending a couple minutes going down to the lunchroom and talking to one of the students.
Mm-hmm.
It's those moments that make such an impact. Oh.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're moving into the third part, your thoughts. And because you have this unique position, this important position as a counselor in our schools, I want to talk with you about what does a day in the life of a school counselor look like? Like, what's a typical day look like for you?
Busy. Like carving this time out right now, I'm sure I have like 5 notes already in my mailbox. But no, like a typical day, generally when we hit the door, Dan, we are here and we are running. In the morning time, we do this program at Park Ridge. It's called Goal Makers, where we have some students who are working towards certain goals. They come and check in with us in the morning, and then we have students we need to go pick up because they're requesting to see us. We have teachers to see. We have classes to do. So we are consistently on the move here. But it is very rewarding. It's amazing to walk down the halls and the students are waving at you or speaking to you. But we are always on the move and trying to figure out ways that we can improve and provide assistance to our teachers and to our students.
That's awesome. You guys make it happen within a school. And I'm also thinking about, coming back, we're still in the pandemic, but now that we have more students back in our classrooms, how does it feel this year in the building, like having all of these kids back? What's that like?
When I tell you, Dan, I was super excited when they said we were going to come back, just because I know for me, I need the kids as much as they need me. And just to have their energy back into the building, it was just so overwhelming, but it was so beautiful. And you can tell that they really thrive being into a school setting. And it's like, yes, that's why we're here. This is my why, is to have that energy from them and to share my energy with them too. So it's amazing to be back into the building with all of the kids. Even though we have 1,000, I'm like, awesome, 1,000 more kids that I can consider my own,
right,
while they're here.
Oh, that's good stuff. I so agree. Like, talking over a screen is one thing, and you can make some connections, but when you're face to face, I can't explain it. If you don't work in a school, it's probably hard to understand how amazing that is.
Exactly.
Good stuff. So now comes my final part of the podcast. I always pose 3 phrases and that I want you to complete. So I'm going to start something, and I just want you to complete it with whatever comes to mind right at the moment, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so here's our first one. The thing I love the most about being a counselor is what?
All of my students. And I'm not even going to say all of my students, because I tell my students when they come into the building, they're actually my kids. So I love all of my kids. So yes.
Good stuff. That's what it's all about. Next up, we have Dear First Year Counselor Me. What would you give as advice to your first year self?
Everything you're planning, unplanned. Learn as you go, and be be open for change, be very open-minded.
I love that. And just be flexible, like you're saying with that. Like you might plan something, but it might go the complete opposite direction.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And finally, Stafford County Public Schools is the place to work
Because we are continuously growing with amazing diversity and amazing educators. I
yeah,
love Stafford County just because we have such talented people, and you can see the diversity in our buildings and in our community. And so it's a very welcoming place to work. So I love Stafford County.
I so agree. I'm right there with you. I love the diversity in our community. It
Yes,
brings so much richness to everyone's life, and it's
yes.
just magic. So I'm going to pose one more thing. Okay, I'm thinking about people maybe considering becoming teachers, becoming counselors. What would you tell someone who's thinking about becoming a school counselor? Why should they become? Why should they go that direction? Why should they become that school counselor?
I would say because every kid needs that one person that they can depend on, no matter what it is. They need someone that they can feel comfortable with. They need a safety person. And us as school counselors, we get information that teachers
Mm,
don't ever get a chance to, get. And for a lot of our students, we are that safety person. So it's very rewarding to be that for someone, especially for a kid that may not have it anywhere else. So if you have a heart of compassion for kids, this is where you should be.
oh, good stuff. LaKetra, I'm just so in awe of the work that you do at Park Ridge. Those kids are so lucky to have you in that building because I know you bring them so much love and you listen and you just have that welcoming environment. Um,
Thank you.
you are Stafford County Public Schools. Your excellence is what makes our school system great. So it's been such an honor to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. And I'm going to actually flip that. I'm the lucky one to have all of my kids here. So, yes, we're both lucky.
Good stuff. So everyone at home, we hope that you enjoyed this episode. And as always, don't forget you can log in to the Stafford County Public School YouTube page to check out a new episode of the Stafford Excellence.